Hey everybody, what's up? This is me, JC. Just going to show you what was my, I don't know if it can become a thread. You probably, you guys already might have done this thread already. What was the first album you either bought or was given to you? What was the first record you owned? Doesn't matter if you bought it yourself, if they gave it to you as a present when you were a little kid, or, what was your first album? And hope you guys are doing great. This one to me is very poignant because it was not only the first album I ever owned, it was given to me by my dad, who passed away almost 14 years ago, February 1st of 1999. So it's kind of a tribute to him and also to my start in the record collecting family, record collecting world. This was, I think, 74, 75, and it was a comic book convention that was going on in Manhattan at the Waldorf Astoria. And I remember I was so excited. I know it was obviously held over the weekend, and my dad, said to me, "I know you love comic books." I by then had a reasonable, sizable amount of comics that he had bought me. I had a lot of comic books. I barely now have maybe 80, 90 comics, but I probably had, when they were all given away when we were moving to Spain, probably had close to 1,000 comic books that, who knows now, if they probably would have been worth a small fortune. Or not. But, that was, I first was a comic book collector, and then became a record collector in my teenage years. But still being a comic book collector, having this record that my dad bought me at the convention is memorable. I own it. I've always kept it. It's the most treasured album I have. I mean, it could cost 5 cents, 50 cents a buck, but to me it's worth more than any of those more expensive records, you want to call that I have. Just because obviously he bought it and I was a little kid, and also happy to go with my dad and hop on the subway train and go to the convention, ride with him from Queens, New York, Queens Astoria to Manhattan. So it was pretty cool. We got there, you can imagine a lot of booths, a lot of people selling comic books, and which is cool. I liked it. I might have gotten a couple of nice special edition comic books, but the most cool thing was the actual record. Now what I'm going to show you, this one, it's The Amazing Spider-Man from Beyond the Grave. It came out on Buddha Records. As you know, Buddha label was the one that did a lot of the bubblegum recordings. And it features Ron Dante. Everybody knows him from the hits by the Archie, Sugar Sugar. They commissioned him to do the music of this album. And he did. It was a pretty cool song that he did. Like the theme from The Amazing Spider-Man, it rings in my head. Pretty cool, the story goes that Aunt May is kidnapped by the Kingpin, and, the Vulture is in this, the Green Goblin, the Lizard, and it's a comic book. You open the gatefold, and you see, like, the comic while you're, of course, you know how you guys had it back in the day, you're listening to it while you're reading the comic or looking at the pictures of it. And actually, Rene Auberjonois, I think his name is, as you guys know him from Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, was the voice of Peter Parker. There were other notables on the album as well, but he is like the most notable. He was, I think, 31, 32 at the time when he did the voice of a very young Peter Parker. But it came out pretty good. It's a pretty fun and quirky, record to own, and it's cool. I know they think they have it on iTunes and you can get it on eBay. My original copy doesn't have the poster. It did come with a really cool poster, by the way, drawn by John Romita, probably with Steve Ditko, my two favorite Spider-Man illustrators, without a doubt. I love Romita's Spider-Man. I know McFarlane and other people have done Spider-Man quite well. And now with the Death of Spider-Man and 700 issue and all that, pretty cool. But I have the Ditko poster, and I was able to get it shortly again with the poster. This is the actual album my dad got me You know, of course, it's been ragged. It's been listened to when I was a kid dozens of times, and the little Romita cover is absolutely beautiful. The back, From Beyond the Grave, and there's Aunt May with the Kingpin, and Doctor Strange helps out Spidey, the Green Goblin, the Lizard, the Vulture. You know, it's a, and you open it up. Of course, this one's going to be pretty torn. It's got all the like episode 1, Spidey remembers when he gets bit by the radioactive, spider. This one, like I said, the poster is long gone. It's still in nice shape, the actual record, but who knows where the poster might have went. It's cool that I kept this, and of course you see it says a rock comic, because it says The Amazing Spider-Man starting in a rock and roll comic adventure, produced by Barbara Glitter and Steven Lambert. All tunes performed by the Web Spinners, which is, like we said, Ron Dante of the Archies. This was recorded actually at the Bell Sound Studios in New York. Art by, like we said, John Romita. Musical arranger Tony Camillo. And of Ashanti production, of course, licensed by Marvel. Very, very fun. Amazingly cool cover with John Romita. Love that. But I was able to snaggle then first edition, I was going to say, of course, the first pressing as well. Copy it is, this one is really good. There's actually 8-track. It came out in 8-track and cassette too. The same one, obviously, but this one does include the awesome poster. Herver had this, kept it in pristine shape. The record is in vinyl, which I've heard is in pristine condition. It's got the original Buddha, Pleasure from the Buddha Group in it, and it's just pristine. It really is. It's somebody who really owned this and took care of it and didn't, probably listen to it a few times, put it back. And what was I going to say? The actual poster is in it, and you have to check it out. The poster is pretty cool. The poster is absolutely awesome. It's got a great poster in it, and it's a quite big poster, for what it is. That's the poster. The poster's quite big. It's really neat. The John Romita Amazing Spider-Man, a rock comic. And in the back it tells you the cast. The policeman, the voice is Hank Garrett. I don't know if it says voice of Spider-Man. Here it says voice Earl Dowd, but not a Spider-Man. Spider-Man is Rene Auberjonois. Rene Auberjonois has Peter Parker starring. Green Goblin Joe Ross, Kingpin, Thayer David, Aunt May Seal Cabot, Carlo James Harder, Jake was David Dodger, the Professor Earl Dowd again, Studio Guard James Harder, Cobb David Dozier, Doctor Strange John Heffernan. Produced, this is really, really cool. And as you can see it here, the poster is just sweet, really nice. Brand new ship. There's the John Romita signature on it. But it was great. And this came out, I think, in the first 3 days of it being released. It sold like about 100,000 copies, so that's pretty darn good, for basically a kid's album, if you want to call that, or somebody who digs Spider-Man. We're talking Spider-Man had been out there for close to 10 years, so it was not only kids, it was, young adults who grown up with him already, probably in their early 20s. So just wanted to show you this. I know a few people on YouTube have posted videos on it, but I think maybe mine's giving you a little bit more info on the background of it. I'm From Beyond the Grave, on the cast, the people who were actually in it, a musician like Ron Dante, who was already by then pretty popular with the Archies. Just had a hit a little, a year before that, or 2 years before that, with Sugar. And they made him do it. They didn't make him do it. Obviously, they commissioned him to do it, and he was cool about it. With Spider-Man, who wouldn't want to participate in a Spider-Man project? And it was very, very good. Buddha Records, like we said, 1972, John Romita on the cover. Great, just good times. I remember my dad, like I said, and I wanted to share this guy with you. Um, you know, it's the most treasured album I own. Now, I don't know if you guys have started a thread of like what was your first album you bought, if you have it with you, or was given to you. The first album you owned, doesn't, like I said before at the beginning, doesn't matter if you bought it, if it was given to you, or if you stole it. I'm just kidding. Whatever. Well, it was the first album you owned, however which way you owned it, if somebody gave it to you or not. Love it. Love the cover of it. You know, love the original one. The original still plays well. You know, have to clean it a little bit, but still plays pretty decent. After all the spins I gave it to as a kid. And this is JC saying, hope you like the info on it. Hope you enjoyed it. Watch your guys' videos. Marty loves the Polish records that you got from your friend from Poland. Rob, as always, you know, Panix, Bluna, Aldi, everybody out there, Johnny Cash fan, all you guys, you know, have a great one. You know, it's winter, but you know, we're hanging in there. It's really not bad temperature, but down here in Maryland, not really bad at all for winter time. Okay, man, peace, love, have a great one. See you soon. Ciao.